What's up, guys? This is Jack Frost from Night Terror, Aldo Nova. It's so good to be here. And one thing I want to say, turn it up, because we go to 11!
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Hey, Jack, thanks so much for doing this. This will be for We Go to 11, which is got a little bit of a Spinal Tap type reference to, but you have some new music coming out, or it's out already, actually, with Night Terror.
Well, it'll be out the end of the month. Like
at the end of the month.
Like
okay.
You probably got it.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
So it comes out the.
Oh, go ahead.
Right. So like journalists and like, the inner people.
Yeah, right.
have
right.
It. So it comes out November 3rd.
Okay, so it's coming. It's coming. So, okay. Real quick though, the lineup. I mean, I think the singer is somebody that fans will immediately recognize, obviously next to yourself, because you guys are the two higher profile guys. So how long has this project been in the works? This is an EP. It closes with a pretty cool cover of Lights Out. So tell us a little bit about that, how this all came together and the plan for this moving forward.
Okay, so basically, I'm honest about everything. If you read in the press release, technically this should have been a Seven Witches album. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason it wasn't, I felt that, when you beat a dead horse, it's just too many guys have came and gone from the band. Not that there was anything bad with it, but it got to the point, like me being a fan of music, right? I don't want to like Motley Crue has Vince Neil, and then they get Karabi, which is my favorite Motley Crue album. And then, Vince comes back, or this band has Bob on this record, Nancy on that record. And I felt like Seven Witches, it wasn't fair to the fans to add another new singer and another new lineup. And I said, why don't I just put Seven Witches to rest? We had a great career. We're going to put a best of album out and do something new and fresh. So a lot of these ideas and some of these riffs I had in mind for Seven Witches. And that's basically how it really came to come. I had a lot of ideas laying around. I'm like, man, these are cool songs. And then I just thought about people that I really love in the industry and people I've worked with or I haven't worked with that I wanted to work with. That's really how it all came to where it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, Seven Witches, again, it's one of those bands. I mean, just the lineups that you've had as far as singers. I think Exiled it was my introduction to Seven Witches, and that's thanks to Brave Words Bloody Knuckles, the magazine. That what a killer magazine that was, that introduced folks to a lot of these underground metal bands. But then you followed it up with with the James Rivera album, Passage to the Other Side. I mean, man, how lucky were you to land those two guys to work with?
You know what, man? I'm very blessed that I got to work with these guys. And, some reason they liked what I was doing at the time. And we really, and I got to say, you got to put a lot of respect on Joey Vera, too. Because Joey Rivera was a big part of that era because he mixed Exiled. He played bass, wrote, and mixed Passage. So I feel like Joey was as important as the singers because he brought such a specialty to the album. I mean, he brought that Armored Saint feel, and like that is traditional metal. That's where it all came from. So, Wade was great. We did a great tour of Europe with Wade. We opened up for Annihilator on that tour. And then, it just, how life is.
Sure.
It just didn't work out. It wasn't that he wasn't a great singer. We just had different outlooks. And I knew James forever, and he came in and just crushed, you know what I mean? So very fortunate. And I think those guys, I can't speak for them, but I know that they hold the records that we did together in high regard. Like, I want to believe that they always look back at what we did with a smile on their face and the time we had. That's where you got to take it as, like, you know what?
Sure.
We were all fortunate that we all got to do this together.
Right. You mentioned though like a best of compilation. So when is that going to hit the streets?
That'll probably be next year, like early next year. We have a lot of I don't know if a lot of people know this. Seven Witches did a lot of tribute albums over the years that kind of went under the radar because it was mainly on European labels. It was on Nuclear Blast. We did the Scorpions one. We did Monster Man for the Accept one. We did a Dio one. We did a Wasp one. We did a Twisted Sister one. So these were all Seven Witches band, but a lot of it, you know, one song. So that's all going to be on there. Some of our like demos that we got to deal with is going to be on there. And then it'll be like 2 or 3 songs from each record. So it's going to be a double compilation of the best of from day one to the end.
Nice. I you know, and like you mentioned, I wanted you to an opportunity to mention kind of that this was kind of like a continuation of Seven Witches, but basically under a new fresh, I guess, coat of paint or whatever. But I imagine then
that's good,
yeah. But I imagine though with the guys you have on board again, and the first thing I thought was, I wonder if Joey was ever considered to be part of this recording or anything. I mean, was that ever thrown out there to him, or was he just too busy with all, you know, because Armored Saint has been fired back up.
Fired up, and you know, he's always filling in. And then he was remember he was playing with King, Mercyful Fate. So
Fate's Warning, I think.
Everyone forgets he was the Mercyful.
Yeah,
and Fate. They're kind of quiet right now, but Joey. So it wasn't that I didn't think of Joey. It's just that when Seven Witches came back together with James, Dennis Hayes, our bass player that was on Year of the Witch, and Dennis then went on to join Iced Earth. I just thought that Dennis would be the perfect guy because he's a great player, he's available, and it just worked. And don't get me wrong, I love Joey, and he was one of the first people we talked about, but it just, because me and Dennis wanted to do something more metal. That's why we did it this way.
And then going forward, I'm guessing this opens the door to I guess the performance of the back catalog, the Seven Witches back catalog, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, like people were asking me, like, what would you do if you got offered a tour to go to Europe or got offered a festival or this? You know, what we would probably do is we would definitely do the 6 songs on the album, and you know, throw a couple of cool Seven Witches songs that the fans love. Hey, Jason, we would definitely do either a Watchtower song or a Dangerous Toys song, you know, and maybe just make it a little bit more, because I love Dangerous Toys. I just love it. So yeah, maybe make it more metalish a little bit. Like, you know, we would definitely do a Diamond Head song. And who knows? I mean, we would even do an Iced Earth song. So we could literally go out there and do a really cool set.
You know, in prepping for this, the one thing I envisioned, because the one thing I thought is, you know, this particular band is geared for like the European festival market or you know, touring. But I thought, hell, these guys could actually do like a medley of all the bands that they've been in, or a Seven Witches medley. You know what I mean? We
could. You know what? When I was in Sabotage, we did a medley. It was the coolest thing, man. We did a bunch of songs, and we just did like a minute of it into this song, into that song. You know, that would be really fun too. I mean, we you know what it is, man? We got to see how the response is. But I have to say, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about any of my previous bands or anything, but this has got the best reviews that I've ever got before. Like everything is like 10 and 10, 100 out of 100. Like people just love this EP. And now I think that if people want to see us, we want to play.
Well, here's the thing, Jack. Remember back, and I've had this conversation with other musicians and or fans where, I think when they started jamming all that music onto the CDs, when they could get the 80 minutes worth of music in there, I think that they artists overdid that to the point that then they could have had a solid 9-10 song record, and now they had 15-16 songs on it that was filler.
Right.
And I think that hurt. And now, I mean, you're seeing a lot of artists putting out singles or EPs, kind of like what you guys are doing. And I think that works pretty well,
right,
in the sense that I think I like what you guys did here. You put on, you put on those 4 solid tunes on there on the front end, right? 5 solid tunes, because it's 6 songs.
Right.
Yeah, 5 solid tunes, right? You can't miss. I mean, you pick the 5 best tunes you got, and then you add something from familiarity at the tail end and end it with the UFO song. I mean, I think it's brilliant. I think that's you're going to probably see a lot of bands doing that kind of stuff, because I mean, even Aerosmith put out this EP with that Youngblood kid. I mean, they're doing it. So there's something to this.
You know what? I can't speak for you, but I can speak for me. When I picked up a record back in the day, when I was a kid, you go buy the record, you had the front of the record, you had the 4 songs, you flip it, you had 4 more songs. Or even like when you bought Kiss or you bought Priest, they were like 43 minutes. And you know what? It was better because you absorbed it. When you're saying you throw 85 minutes of music. Don't get me wrong. If you're Dream Theater, you need 85 minutes for a song, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do it that way, I think it gives the listener more, because guys will, after 4 or 5 songs, that's cool. I'll get back to the rest of the record later. Mm-hmm. They don't listen to it in its entirety. This, you can listen to it in its entirety and really grasp onto what we got. And honestly, the way the market is, brother, mm-hmm. people don't buy records anymore, unfortunately. Right. But people buy LPs now. Mm-hmm. That seems to be a big thing. It's come back. Vinyl's hot. It's hot right now. So I think what we did was we felt what was the best songs that we felt we had. We've got other ideas laying there, but we wanted to, seriously, and I hate to say it, it sounds kind of cliche, but we wanted to test the waters, because people could have turned around and said, wow, this is a bag of crap. This is terrible. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we're really proud of it. And we think they're strong songs. And I would rather 5 strong songs than 12 songs, 4 good. You said fillers. I hate fillers.
Yeah, I mean, same here. And I think that's why there's something to be said about putting out a collection of 4 or 5 songs, 6 songs, and throwing it out there and see how it does. Because I think if you use the old school formula, I mean, you know this. I mean, you're an old school guy and grew up listening to the old school albums. It seems like the first 3 tunes were the knock it out of the park, right? Punch, 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 knockout. And then, the rest was, it was good or could be good, but then it could also be all filler, right? So I think, you put out a 5-song EP. You knock it out of the park, and then you throw in a couple other solid tunes, and you got something good there.
You know what? It's funny. It takes me back when I first picked up the Stryper EP or the Queensrÿche EP, right? And then I remember when Joey Belladonna joined Anthrax, and they did that Armed and Dangerous thing.
Correct.
Listening to that. It was great because it really got you to know the band. If you can't, by the 4th song, if you can't see where the band's going, then you're not really getting it. So I feel like if you just push too much, it's like you just can't absorb it. And like I said to you, I think I agree with you 100%. I just remember picking up Loud and Clear from Stryper. It was only 5 songs, but
Right.
man, they were killer songs. I remember that, you know, just
Yeah.
and I think you're right. I think a lot of bands are going to do a lot more of this. And unfortunately, I hate to say singles, but it is kind of the way the market is, man.
Yeah.
People, they just go on their phone, Apple Music. I
Yeah.
bought the singles, and they have them
Sure.
right there and then. So,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still like the days that I knew when Bush got into Anthrax, and I knew Sound the White Noise was coming out. I was at that CD store that day to get that CD because I wanted to hear what Anthrax sounded with Bush. So I still am an old school guy where I like to pick up a CD or an album and read the credits, read this, you know?
Yeah. You know, I've had that conversation with other folks I've interviewed where I remember going to Tower Records on date of a release, skipping school, you know, and driving, you know, an hour away to get to the Tower Records and picking up the Dock and Back for the Attack in the long box, you know, Black and Blues new
Remember
album. Yeah, I mean that was awesome. Yeah, and even Seven Witches stuff, ordering it, right? Ordering it and getting it on release date locally, you know, at the mom and pop shops, you know, things like that. It was just cool.
That was really cool. I remember, like, even for me being in the band, and I knew that UPS was coming that day with promo copies, and it was just like,
oh yeah,
you're like a little kid sometimes, like, and you don't see that anymore. You don't see people in the CD store like hanging out, talking to each other. Hey, check out this record, because all that mom and pop stores are gone.
Right.
It sucks. It really does suck.
Yeah. Getting back to the band, because Jason, again, more diverse as a vocalist, I think, than most people think. I think oftentimes they go, Dangerous Toys guy, he sounds like this. But they forget he did Watchtower. He's done other projects, and now he's doing this. So tell us a little bit about his diversity as a vocalist, because I think, you know, he basically nailed it on this particular series of tunes.
Well, that's easy, and he's going to laugh when I say this. But Jason is a I feel a metal singer. For the thing he did in Watchtower was incredible. So ahead of his time, Watchtower was. And then he joins Dangerous Toys, and man, it was like that 80s, you know, I like the term hair bands, but he was in that 80s sleaze music. It was great. That debut record, oh man. When that video first came out, I said, this is killer. And then, listen, man, he's went on Broken Teeth. That's amazing.
Oh,
if you like that AC/DC vibe.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then let's talk about versatile. He's filled in for Bush and Armored Saint.
Right.
That's no little shoes to fill. He filled in for Mark and Accept.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So he's done that. He's also sang Dirty Looks. Like,
oh yeah. And
I love those original Dirty Look records. So, you know, I gotta say, I'm very fortunate that I've got to work with Brothers in Arms. I work with some of the most amazing singers. And like you were saying, James, Rivera, Alan Tecchio.
Yeah.
These are all great, iconic singers, but I work with Paul Sciortino. I work with Andrew Friedman. From Last in Line. I've worked with all these guys. You know, John Oliva from Sabotage. I worked with John. It was incredible. But I have to say, Jason, not only as a vocalist, but a lyricist, he has a vision. The guy is an incredible artist and should be more up here. Like, when I think of singers, I think of Ronnie James Dio and Rob Halford and Ozzy and Ray Gillen. I'm sorry, but Jason deserves to be in that talk because he can do anything.
Yeah.
And another thing is, he's a songwriter. He would come to me and say, hey, man, respectful. Like, would you think we can do this? I'm not really feeling that. Or this sounds a little weird. Sure, dude. He wrote every lyric, every melody line, every hook. It was all him. He did it All I brought him was, here's the painting, here's the canvas, go for it. Not once did I tell him change something, because he's the singer. He has to believe it, not me as much. I'm not singing it. It's like it's like some of these guys go in the studio, sing it like this. No, you don't tell somebody how to sing what they feel. So I'm very fortunate. Like, I feel Jason took me to a new level.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what other covers were in consideration for this particular EP aside from Lights Out, or was it just Lights Out that just happened to be the tune you guys went with?
You know what? Seven Witches did it at a festival, and we did it on the 70,000 Tons cruise, and it was so much fun. And Dennis was playing bass, and I've always loved that song. And I love Schenker. I love Pete Way. I love Phil Moog. So I know a lot of people have done this already. Right. And I didn't know my friend Richie Falker from Judas Priest, right before we were, we already had this. Right. He did it on his band. And I'm like, oh crap. But the difference is Richie made it more metal, made it heavy, killed it. But we wanted to do it more traditional, like a UFO would have done it. And even Jason said to me, man, it was a little fun. I had to go back and listen to the original and try to get the feel and the tone. And it just was the song that I think it's a really great song for what we're doing, because it really takes you back to when that first few UFO records come out, and it was raw and real.
Yeah, you're right, because Faulkner did do it, and he has Ronnie Romero doing it, so it's almost kind of like having Ronnie James Dio, laying the vocals on that.
Such a great, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying. And I think Jason was feeling, as he said to me, he really wanted to get the infliction and everything of how, but also make it himself. We didn't want to just do it identical.
Sure.
But we also wanted to give it a fresh, like I was saying in a couple of interviews, the technology is light years from when that UFO record came out.
Right.
So we just wanted to make it a little bit slicker, but not lose the traditionality of that song.
Right. Yeah, and it does capture that 70s vibe to it, right? It stays closer to that original, it still has a little bit more punch to it, I think, but it still retains that kind of 70s vibe to it. Yeah, right. Nice. So I imagine in the United States, I mean, you guys would probably, go ahead.
Oh, and for me, it was a little scary, man. Hear me trying to play a Schenker solo. Like, this is a different level of guitar player. He's the gospel according to Michael. I mean, Randy Rhoads, all these guys. Schenker's there. Schenker definitely made a lot of those guys. I mean, Ozzy asked Schenker to be an Ozzy.
Right.
I mean, that's the type of player he is. So to me, it was a little, but I said, you know what? I'm going to have fun with this. And this is my take on it. And nowhere is it near as great as Schenker. Nowhere. Oh, no. But I feel like I did a real justice to him.
Yeah. And I just to piggyback on that about Schenker, I mean, I think it's just awesome that whatever he did in his personal life seems like he's got it sorted out, because he's been on fire for at least close to like the almost 2 decades now. I think in the early mid 90s, it was kind of like, is this guy going to make it? I mean, it just seemed like it was unfortunate that things were kind of unraveling, but I'm really happy. And I have seen him a number of times since that. Oh my God, this dude is on fire.
Dude, we just did the Monsters of Rock cruise. We did Monsters of the Mountain. We did a lot of festivals. So I play with Aldo. We do, and I see Michael a lot. Dude, we did the 70,000 Tons cruise. We're backstage we're doing an all-star jam, and there's Schenker face to face to me, showing this other guitar player a couple of parts. Nicest guy in the world. One of my really good friends, Rev Jones, bass player, phenomenal bass player,
right?
Played with Schenker. So I've met Michael a million times over the years, and I'm really good friends with the guys in the Scorpions. So I know Rudy pretty well. Michael is so happy, content, and you said it, on fire. You got to see him on the cruise with Robin. Oh, dude, Schenker was just tearing it up.
Yeah. I caught him the last appearance when he was on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Saw both of them when he had Ronnie Romero singing. It was just incredible. I mean, again,
well,
I
haven't seen him with Ronnie. I only saw.
Yeah. But
I saw him with Schenker. I saw him with
Macaulay. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Robin.
Yeah, he's a good dude too. But the weird thing about Schenker is, and I know it's come out a couple times when I've interviewed him, it sounds like he does not listen to any other music, only whatever it is that he creates. And to me, that's just like weird, but whatever, because he's still creating pretty solid music.
Maybe he's just so focused on. Because it's funny you say that. My last interview, we just talked about something like that. I said, you know what? Sometimes when you start listening to a couple of albums over and over and over again, it's not good. Because when you start writing, you might it might have like not on purpose, but oh crap, that sounds like the last Motley Crue album.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
sure.
So. Not that you're doing it on purpose, but maybe for him, he just wants to worry about what he's working on, which is great.
Right.
I know it's weird though. I listen to music all day long. So.
Sure. But I think it's helped him to a degree, because can you imagine him trying to do like a new, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, doing a MSG new metal album? Because, a lot of bands, gave it a shot and failed miserably.
Can you imagine Schenker trying to sound like Alice in Chains?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Disturbed?
Right. Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
And don't get me wrong. I love Alice in Chains.
Oh, sure.
I'm not that guy that's going to be like, you hate Nickelback. Sorry, dude. Nickelback writes great songs. Say what you want. Go see them live. It'll shut your mouth, because they're an awesome live band to see. So, but to see Schenker down tune and gong gong, that chunk, that's not Schenker.
No, that wouldn't work. So, Okay, we got the EP Night Terrors is out at the end of the month, so that's coming. It's out on vinyl and also digital, so they can check it out at the various different platforms. Spotify, I think Apple Music as well, right? Yep.
Actually, we weren't doing this, but the buzz has been so amazing. We're doing a small limited run of CDs too.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about that. I'm gonna snag one of those, man, because I'm a CD guy. I get the vinyl thing. I think when I discovered music, it was on vinyl, then made the change to cassette.
It was on vinyl.
And then and then
hit the needle, drop it.
and then changed to CD, and I'm like, man, these are a lot better than those clunky cassettes. And then vinyl made a resurgence. I'm like, I'm not gonna go back. I'm just stuck in my old ways. But I love the CD, so I will be picking up one of those, because need it.
I like vinyl just because it's so cool to look at.
Sure.
Like, especially when you're in a band, have your own vinyl, because to me that takes me back to that little kid. That's
well,
that's
think about this, Jack. I think for me it was just kind of all those cool Iron Maiden covers. They looked a lot better on vinyl, especially Somewhere in Time, I mean, and Power Slave, those covers, and you could look at all the fine details in there, that you would miss on a cassette card.
Let me ask you a weird question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember, like, you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
I remember going into the local, you know, stores, whatever, Sam Goody or
Mm-hmm.
mom and pop stores. And we used to, so I'm from Jersey City, right? We used to
Right.
go to New York, was literally a 5-minute the train ride over.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go to this place called Zounds. Go in there. My dad gave me $10. I get all the used.
Mm-hmm.
I start looking at, I saw Wasp,
Oh,
like the first Wasp record. I saw that cover. And then I saw Accept, Restless and Wild cover. I go, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Didn't we buy, and you know, you saw Mercyful Fate.
Yeah.
Why did we buy records? So you didn't hear them.
You saw the artwork
because of the covers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
I hear you.
Like, oh, here, get it on.
Right. I mean,
and I still, you know.
Yeah. I was going to say that I know exactly what you're talking about. I know there was a mall in Portland that was it had like an indie shop in there it was called Dudley's. And of all things, it had a guy riding a horse backwards, and they had pink bags. So the guy behind the counter, he was pretty firm. You can't buy certain things unless you're 18 or older. And I remember seeing the WASP EP, Fuck Like a Beast. Obviously, they weren't going to sell it to me, but I got my dad to buy it, and he's looking at it. He's like, why would you want to buy this? Yeah, why would you want to buy this? But I remember picking that up, and then, like you said, you know, the Metallica Creeping Death release, you know, because that was an import, so they had all the cool imports. And I remember the guy sliding them in one of those hideous pink bags with the cowboy riding the horse backwards, and off I went. But you know, I know exactly what you're talking about. That you can't replicate that anymore. You know, I mean, that's a lost thing. Yeah, unfortunately.
That's why it's costing money for people to buy, like, you know, stuff that you threw away because you know, you didn't know it got warped. Right. Some of these are getting $300 to $500.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. So Jack, hey, thanks so much. The one thing I'm not gonna let you off the hook on this, since this is gonna be for We Go to 11. Hey. I'm gonna ask you, Jack, and then I'll ask you to do an intro for this interview. Do you have a Spinal Tap-esque type story to share? I'm sure you have like several, you know, but is there one that stands out that you could share with us at the tail end of this thing?
I got a good one.
Go for it.
So this is very long ago. I was probably 20, 21. I had my first band called Frostbite. It was my first, like, I was in other bands growing up, but this was my first band. We actually got a record deal. We actually did stuff. We actually toured. We actually opened up for Overkill on a tour. So we used to play this club called Club N A. It was awesome. And we're the only band that ever sold it out twice to be a local band. I got my first guitar endorsement with Hamer Guitars. Here we are, big record release party. You know, the old days, Marshall stacks, places packed, smoke. I'm playing. We're playing, you know, second song of the night. People going crazy. No. I turn like this. I hit my brand new guitar that was probably $3,000 back then that they gave me. I turn around, full volume. You hear the neck snap off it. The guitar just falls, and all you hear is like the gates of hell. It's like, and I'm like, and the place erupted. Everyone's like, after the show, like, that was the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing. And I'm like, it wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah. I mean, I had another guitar there, but that to me I'll always remember that moment where everybody thought it was the coolest thing. And I'm like, no, that was me trying to find, hello, Cleveland. That goes down. And, man, that was a bad one, brother.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. That sounds painful. Did you ever get that guitar fixed?
Well, you should have heard. It was so broke that when you break a neck, you could put it back on. But the way it broke, it took the truss rod. I must have just really hit it. because the truss rod snapped. Hammer was so good to me. They're like, we'll make it up to you, brother. Don't worry about it. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Because back in those, like, there wasn't many videos, but people had camcorders and stuff.
Sure.
So I showed them. They're like, oh. But if you heard the sound was, it was like nails on a chalkboard. People, they all loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I should have threw it out to the audience, right?
Right. I mean, at that point, why not? Oh, boy. Hey, Jack, I look forward to getting that on CD. For right now, I think the stream will work, but man, I need that CD, so I'm going to get it.
Just make sure you hit up Jen and Chip, their hand or Deco.
Yeah.
They'll take care of you with everything. Let them know. And
Cool.
let me know when it's up. I love to share all this stuff.
Yeah, we'll get you the link. Thanks so much, man. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day, huh?
Hey, you too, brother. Have a great weekend, man.